Okay, I have a reading here for Gavin Newsom. Now I happen to have a total crush on Gavin Newsom, who is the governor of California, my state. But I swear I just picked these cards, and these are the cards that come out for him. They are very good and very strong, and I had that feeling anyway. I feel that he is, as the cards say, a rising star in all of this that's happening with the pandemic, the virus, the situation that's going on. I've just been learning more and more. He's really stepping up right now to help others. Now, California is doing a great job. I think we're kind of setting a really good standard for the rest of the country on how to manage this. And I also, I understand that he's going to be sending out 500 ventilators because he feels we have enough to do that. So he's going to send that out to people who need it. Basically, as it says here, he's going to step up and become sort of the emperor in this, which I think would be so fantastic to watch. Because here we have Trump, the devil at the bottom, who wants to control everything. I believe he's at the bottom in the sense of pushing others to rise, right? I'm sure that Gavin Newsom would be, if there was someone else in charge who was going to take over and do things right, he would fall into line. But people are being pushed up, like Cuomo is right now, doing his daily briefings so that people have someone to turn to who is actually being honest, unlike Donald Trump. So yeah, I see him as sort of a rising emperor in this time, covered by this, which is really more of a partnership. I mean, this is it's not about being an emperor, but about being a community. So I see this as, and look at that with the globe on top. It's let's all work together for what's best for all of us as a whole. And, I consider the two, is it him and Cuomo being sort of the rising stars, but I really do see it as maybe it's that. But also it's just important, everybody working together is a big part of this, as opposed to being chained, in the devil card. The devil card has these little, well, in this case it's a little bird chained to him, but in the traditional card it's a couple people chained to him. And that's sort of how I think a lot of people, the governors, are feeling. You have to kiss the ring, and if you don't act appreciative enough, like the governor of Michigan, or that's what he had perceived, that she wasn't being grateful enough. I think he especially has trouble with women not being, having an attitude that he reads into them just by being strong. So people are feeling chained to him. He's going to decide if you're going to get someone to call you back or not. And if you're not cool enough for him, then you're not getting a call back. And it's just total bullshit. And he just has all the power. And he is going down in status. And our guy Newsom is raising in status as a bit of a star, as part of a community of governors and states. I don't know why he's a fool in the past. I don't know if this is just, he went through a divorce that was upsetting to him. And I don't know if this just means he just wasn't taken very seriously by the world community. He's sort of, he is awfully handsome. It could just be that he just doesn't, he just kind of gets taken as a sort of, dashing figure, as opposed to a real serious governor who can govern. And then one of my questions going into this was also any chance he'll be president someday? And then I was okay, I like that answer. I'd like to look into that, but in general, I wanted to read into him. And then getting this card makes me think that moving forward, that he could be in a part of the next administration. I know California would not want to lose him as governor. Yeah, maybe it's not the next administration, but at some point I think he will go work at the White House in a higher position. And, California will always, as long as there's someone electable in line that they know would be a good person for California, I think maybe he would take that step to the White House. So that's pretty cool. I see him, his values is of sort of like going back to a simpler, more neighborly way of operating, and that it is so fruitful, whatever he's doing. Like there's some sort of talk like he's going to be sort of I don't know if stockpiling is the right word, but sort of like if the government is going to be like this difficult way about supplies and like sort of like, I don't know if I think you need 30,000 ventilators, so I don't think, like making up, it's like, what if someone else, California would be a good choice. California's got, I also see this as just we have this incredible economy, we do well, and maybe we could sort of maybe Newsom could sort of step up as the emperor of this moment and be like, don't worry, I've got the supplies. I'm going to give it out to everybody. The prices aren't going to get like jacked up because it's like Trump's friends or whatever. Like they have this little club where they just want their, corporations who sort of play nice with Team Trump can get the favors. And this will just be more like, not like that. It'll just be more like a more trustworthy operation that isn't out to profit for themselves, for power, or for their, crony buddies in corporations. So it would just be more of a community, like a community drive. Like, I've got them, who needs them? And I just see it as very fruitful and very welcome. And like all of the governors sort of like, yes, let's do it this way. Let's just leave him out of it and do it this way between ourselves. So I hope that is something that really will grow in the next like month or two. Here I see him, his Knight of Wands sort of attitude, like, here I come to save the day, I have a passion and I want to help. And then the final outcome being Temperance. What did I think this? It sort of ties into the sharing vibe of the rest of this. Diplomatic, sharing, everybody gets what they need, And also, I don't know, if my question was, will he be president, and that maybe it won't maybe happen instantly, but that in time, his career will grow nicely. So I think that's great. And then way down here at the bottom, we have the Magician. Which so ties into all of this, because the Magician is a card of the Magician gets its power from using all of the different elements, the sword, the cup, the pentacles, the wands, and like putting these things together in order to create the power. And I feel like that's what he's sort of doing with his community of governors, with the US, with the actual states, not him. And that they'll put their resources together. Who has what? Who needs it now? Who can share? And that will be like the sort of like shining, the light that guides them in this. So yay for Gavin Newsom. He's handsome and also great. Who could ask for more? Maybe this sort of ties into my Cuomo read about the sort of rising of a different kind of masculine, hero of our time. Not that it's all, about the masculine. We've got tons of feminine too, but I like the sort of new man that's sort of rising out of this compared to the sort of old, like, creepy jerk man that's got to go. That seems to derive this sense of masculinity from just being a bully or a dominator, that sort of thing. That, like, the new man is a sharer and neighborly and compassionate and generous in like heart and all of these other ways, and just intelligent. So great. I hope you enjoyed that reading, and if you did, stick around, subscribe, like, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.